It was midnight. A woman, dressed in black and smeared with red vermilion on her forehead, appeared to be engaged in some strange meditation in the cremation ground. A fire burned in a fire pit in front of her. She wore a garland of coconut shells around her neck. She was chanting mantras, and the material scattered around her on the ground indicated she was clearly engaged in some kind of dark ritual. After a long moment of engrossment, she opened her eyes. Her face was illuminated by a magical light, and her eyes glowed red as if a lamp were flickering within them. Suddenly, the woman's body began to stiffen, and strange sounds came from her mouth. It seemed as if some dark force was trying to control her. Controlling herself, the woman picked up some hot ash from the sacrificial fire pit in her fist and, in one swift movement, stuffed it into her mouth. Chewing the hot ash, she looked terrifying, like a demon. Her face was covered in ash, and her eyes were even redder than before. After somehow swallowing the ashes, her stiff body slowly began to return to normal. Suddenly, the woman heard some noises. Hearing them, she glanced around. The sight of the surroundings terrified her. The villagers had surrounded her with sticks and rods, slowly inching closer. Just then, a man in the crowd shouted, "You've all seen her true face with your own eyes today. I tell you, put an end to her tricks here, before she gets to the other young men in the village. She's absolutely right." Just by looking at this woman's appearance, anyone could tell she was a witch. In a cremation ground where no woman dares to come alone even during broad daylight, who knows what she's up to at midnight? Before Kala could even comprehend anything, she was gone. The villagers sprinkled the petrol they had brought with them around her and set her on fire, causing the fire in the Havan Kun to rage even more intensely, and Kala's screams were drowned in the noise of the crowd. The dog was killed. She had tried to cast a spell on our village. The witch would say, "Mr. Chief, today we have avenged all those who were killed by that dyer. Thank God, no one will be killed in the village again." After killing Kala, the villagers returned to their homes without worry and slept peacefully. For the next few days, Kala's death remained the topic of discussion in the village. Her story was on everyone's lips. A few days had passed. Winter was slowly gaining strength. It was probably the night of the new moon. Mohan was in his room, dressing in warm clothes and preparing to leave for the bus station, when suddenly he heard the terrifying cry of a cat from his courtyard. "Listen, this cat's ominous cry has robbed me of sleep. You should go and chase it away. Then go catch your bus." Hearing his wife's words, Mohan takes a stick and opens the door of his room. He goes into the courtyard and starts banging on it. When he sees a black cat with green eyes, shining like diamonds, in front of him. The cat continues to cry ominously and tries to untie Manoj. Manoj shows the stick to the cat, and the cat growls and leaps on his stick, frightening him and causing him to drop the stick. Manoj is terrified by the cat's attack and returns to his room. "Why are you so scared?" "It was just a cat." Wild animals are not known for certain, and now, its ominous voice is gone. She stopped coming. It seems she's run away. You better hurry, or you'll miss the night bus, and you'll only get it the next morning. Manoj was going to the city to visit his sister, who had to catch a bus from the bus station that very night. After his wife's persuasion, he sets off on his bike for the bus station. On the culvert outside the village, he sees the same green-eyed cat again. It stands before him, growling for a while, and then disappears the next morning. Pooja, your Manoj's body has been found lying in my field. His entire body is blue. It looks like someone sucked his blood. Hearing Hariya's words, Pooja collapses and starts crying. But no one can understand what had suddenly happened to Manoj. Slowly, a month passes. Today was the new moon night again. Hariya, a villager, was returning from his field late in the evening when he sees a black cat in the middle of the culvert. The cat's green eyes shone like precious gems. Suddenly, the cat began growling at him. Seeing the cat growl at him like that, Hariya felt a little scared. He somehow shooed away and hurried back home. What's wrong? You're drenched in sweat even in this cold weather. Is everything all right? I wonder who was chasing you today. I narrowly escaped. This black cat was chasing me from the culvert. I chased it away, but it kept coming back to me. It seemed like something else to me. Oh, thank God, you're home. Forget all that, go wash your hands and face. I'll serve you dinner. Hariya went out into his courtyard to wash his hands and feet. Just then, his painful scream echoed everywhere. Hearing Hariya's scream, his wife came running and saw a sharp weapon stuck in his neck. Hariya was lying unconscious on the ground, blood splattered everywhere. Seeing her wife in this condition, Hariya's wife, Nilu, began to weep, beating her chest. Within moments, half the village had gathered outside Hariya's house. May that black cat be destroyed. It's not a cat, it's a witch who ate my Hariya, Hariya had told them. It had been chasing it from the culvert. What did you say? The black cat came to mind. The night Manoj died, a black cat came and cried in our courtyard. Before leaving for the bus station, he went to chase the cat away. But the cat attacked Manoj instead. Nilu was absolutely right. This cat was definitely a form of evil. After hearing Nilu and Pooja's words, a new terror had spread through the village. The mere mention of the black cat sent shivers down the spine. In the past 2 years, 5 villagers had died in similar incidents. The fear of the cat had become so overwhelming that those who were able to leave the village and seek shelter elsewhere. I feel like this village is facing a grave danger. First, that witch devoured so many young men from our village, and now this black cat, this evil spirit, refuses to leave. We feel as if the spirit of that witch, taking the form of a black cat, wanders the village on new moon nights, preying on the villagers. Now, only a great man can protect us. Hearing the chief's words, all the villagers go to a Baba who meditates in a ruined temple some distance from the village and tell him their entire problem. After listening to the villagers, the Baba closes his eyes for a while and becomes absorbed in meditation. When he opens his eyes a little later, the expression on his face terrifies all the villagers. Your suspicions are correct. That black cat is Kala, whom you burned alive in the cremation ground. But what did you see? That was an incomplete truth. Today I will tell you the whole truth. Kala was not a witch, but a nun. But through her wisdom, she had sensed that a grave danger loomed over the village. A Brahma demon had taken up residence in a peepal tree on the banks of the river flowing through the village. To confront supernatural forces, one must adopt the path of Tantra. Dealing with them through spirituality is impossible. That is why she began to practice Tantra. The result of her city was that she could sense danger in advance. 2 years ago. Where are you going this late at night? Your time is not favorable. The next 2 days will be difficult for you. Go back home. Despite Kala's warning, the man's body is found near the river the next day. Every time Kala came to warn, the man would still die within the next day or two. Now the whole village started discussing how Kala knew ahead of time that someone was about to die. The villagers had begun keeping an eye on Kala, and then they discovered that Kala had been going to the cremation ground at midnight to perform occult practices. They were convinced that Kala was the reason for the villagers' deaths. She must be the one taking lives with her occult spells. Without a second thought, the villagers surrounded her and killed her. You just said that Kala was a saint and wanted the villagers' well-being. So why is she taking the lives of the villagers now, disguised as Kali? Look, we're ready to apologize to her. But please do something to free the village from the curse of the black cat. You still misunderstand that sacred spirit. She has been wandering the village as a black cat ever since, but even today, she comes not to seek revenge but to warn them. To protect the villagers from the Brahmapret's attacks, she stands on the path leading to the river and tries her best to save their lives. But instead of heeding his warnings, you're mistaking him for a threat. The villagers realized their mistake, but there was neither remorse nor forgiveness for their mistake. Your village needs freedom not from that black cat, but from the curse of the Brahmapret. He lurks here to protect the village. As long as that Brahmapret is in this village, the black cat will also continue to wander here in the form of a cat. Listen, defeating the Brahmapret isn't easy. But you can certainly pray to appease him. Go and find 111 pundits from the surrounding villages. When so many pundits together chant mantras and perform havans for the peace of his soul and remind him of his Brahmin religion, it's possible that he will give up his violent nature and calm down, preventing him from harming the villagers. But we can only try. The rest is as God wills. As Baba instructed, all the pundits of the village gathered near the peepal tree and began reciting the Shanti Path. The sacred sound of the mantras, the blowing of the conch, and the spiritual light emanating from the fire pit have the effect of pacifying the Brahmapret's raging mind, giving up its thirst for human blood and leaving the tree forever. After the Brahmapret left the village, Kala's wandering soul also found peace, and the villagers no longer saw the black cat. The cloud of ominous omen had lifted from the village. But the burden of the father's death, unknowingly caused by the villagers, still troubled their minds. So, to give Kala her due respect, they built a temple in the village. Every day, people place a statue of Safi Kala and offer flowers, praying for the well-being of their families. The villagers firmly believe that with Safi present, no calamity can befall their village. It's claimed that even today, he sees the same black cat around him before a disaster strikes.